Hi, on today's episode, we're going to talk about the difference between the D1, D2, D3 colleges. I know most people often hear about this college is a D1 college, or this is a D2 college, or this is a D3 college, and this mostly applies to student athletes. So I'll try to cover some of the acronyms, difference between the three Ds, in college sports, examples of colleges considered to be D1, D2, and D3. D1, D2, and D3 colleges are classification levels for collegiate sports in the United States. D stands for division in the NCAA, which is the National Collegiate Athletic Association. This is commonly known when we're watching most of the college sports as the NCAA college such and such, NCAA basketball team such and such. And this is because this is the largest organization in the United States for collegiate sports. But there are several others which I'll be covering in a different podcast. So look out for that. And I will be sharing what's the difference and how they operate. So for today's session, we will have a brief overview of the difference between the three Ds, and we will start with D1. Division 1 colleges are larger universities with athletic programs that have high visibility and receive significant funding. These colleges often have large budgets and offer the most scholarships, hence the competition when going into a D1 school. D1 colleges tend to have more rigorous requirements for student athletes and provide high-intensity competition. So, for you to qualify as a student to a D1 school, you will need to be at the very top of your game, not only in your sport, but also in your academics. And I will be sharing details about that on a different podcast of what's required and what you need to do to get into the D1, D2, or D3 colleges. For the D1, there are more than 300 colleges in the US that are categorized as D1. And then these colleges make up 32% of the NCAA. Your sport, your life is their motto. So when you're going into a D1 school, they're saying your sport is your life. They don't mention anything about academics. So you have to be at the top of your game. You have to be the best in sports, and then they will work with you in academics. But their main focus is the sport. So for students who want to focus on just sports, this is a great place to be. But if you want to balance those two, we'll be talking about D2. That may be your choice. Some of the schools that are categorized as the D1 schools in the US are typically the commonly known Ivy League schools, such as Brown, Columbia, Cornell, Harvard, Princeton, Yale, etc. Other examples here in Texas are Abilene Christian University, which is a private school, Baylor University, which is a private school, UT schools, not all, but some of them, they're public schools, TSU, which is Texas Southern University, which is a public school, and so on. If you search, you will find a list of what schools are categorized as D1, and you'll also find some of the main information of what they require for a student to be admitted in their school. The next division is Division 2, D2. D2 colleges are typically smaller schools than D1, but still offer a high level of competition. These colleges tend to have smaller athletic budgets and offer fewer scholarships, but still provide opportunities for student athletes to compete at a high level. Their motto is a more balanced approach. They give you a more balanced approach between your sports and your education. So if you value both sports and your education and you want to advance in both and do great in both, a D2 school would be a best selection for you. There are also more than 300 schools in the D2 category in the NCAA. 28% of the D2 schools are part of the NCAA. If you want a more balanced approach in college, consider D2 program. Being A Division II athlete always requires a lot of training and practice, but less than D1. Schools that are considered to be D2 are Texas A&M, Acronym College, Tuskegee University, University of Tampa, and so many more. Let's talk about D3. Division III colleges are primarily focused on your academics, and their athletic programs are often less well-funded than D1 and D2 schools. D3 colleges do not offer athletic scholarships, but they do provide opportunities for students to compete at a high level while also pursuing rigorous academic coursework. So for D3, they want you to still focus on your academics, but also compete at a high level. But in this situation, you may not get any scholarships, you may not get any funding. They just want you to be more balanced. If you select a D3 school, and if you want to focus on your academic as much as your sport, a D3 program is the best bet. Well-rounded college experience is what their motto is. They want to give you a well-rounded college experience. Schools considered D3 are Johns Hopkins University, University of Chicago, MIT, that's in Boston, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Trinity University in Texas, University of Texas, Dallas, and so many more. In summary, the main difference between the D1, D2, and D3 colleges are the size and the funding of their academic programs, the number of scholarships they offer, and the level of competition. While all three divisions provide opportunities for student athletes to participate in a competitive sport at the college level, the level of competition and the resources available to support athletic programs can vary significantly between these divisions. There are noted odds for student athletes to be accepted in any of the three divisions. So if you're planning to go to a D1 school, you have an odds of 1 to 23. So out of 24 students, you're one that would be accepted. Or if you're wanting to go to a D2 school, you have the odds of 1 to 10. If you want to go to a D3 school, you have the odds of 1 in 4. Therefore, you realize that the odds in a D3 school are better, but it's not well funded. You may have to pay out of pocket, but you'll have the opportunity to play in a high level. This high stakes does not mean they are out of reach for our students. It just means that with a strategy and equipped with the knowledge that I am sharing, we are able to plan better and position ourselves to compete. Please reach out to me if you feel your child will need guidance, and I will be glad to help. You can also see my contact information on the below session's description. Thank you.